Hello again, Brian King here, ADHD Success Coach, and let's talk about the topic of motivation. There's a very common misnomer among parents and teachers that if my child or my student is not doing what I ask, it means they're not motivated. Baloney. They are motivated. They're just not motivated about the same thing you're motivated about. So to get clear, get on the same page here, let's define what motivation is. Motivation is the reason someone has for acting or behaving in a particular way. So it's their reason for doing it, okay? So let's say you have a kid that's sitting around on the couch, not doing the chores you ask them to do, and you say, you lack motivation. You just lay around all day. No, they do have motivation. They have motivation to continue what they're doing. Let's see what's in the classroom. Kids spacing out, looking all over the place, very distractible, maybe doodling, drawing on a piece of paper instead of listening to your math instruction, and you say, you need to get your head out of the clouds, you need to be more motivated, otherwise you're going to amount to nothing. Reality check. The student is motivated, just not to what you want them to be motivated to do. So how do we cue in to what our kids or our students are actually motivated for? Okay? Well, first we need to understand the definition, and I'll repeat it to make sure you got it. Motivation is the reason someone has for acting or behaving in a particular way. So they're doing one thing, you want them to do another. You're both motivated, but not about the same thing. So you need to check in with this child and figure out what they're motivated for in relationship to what they're currently doing. So this is how you find out. You ask the question, and the wording here, you know, I'm very strategic. The wording here is very, very important. You're going to ask, why is it important for you to not do this right now? So if you want them to transition to doing homework or doing a chore, you ask, why is it important for you to not do this right now, to not do the thing? So why is it important for you to not do the vacuuming right now? Why is it important for you to not start your homework right now? And find out what their resistance is. They might say, I'm in the middle of this, it's hard for me to stop, it's difficult to switch, I don't know what to do, I didn't understand the instructions. That can get you further than just put that darn computer game down, turn the darn TV off, and start your homework like I told you to. Okay, so again, you're criticizing them for not accepting the motivation you want them to have. You want them to be motivated to just stop what they're doing and start the homework. Demanding that they be motivated for it doesn't create motivation. It doesn't instill motivation. What it does is it increases that resistance they have to your request because they are motivated to keep doing what they're doing, and there's a good reason for it. We need to uncover the reason, okay? So let's say your child gets mad at you and snaps at you. Maybe they even swear at you. So you ask the question, why is it important for you to yell at me right now? Why is it important for you to swear at me right now? What is it you're trying to communicate? That's what you're trying to find out. You're pushing me too hard. You know, I need to finish this first. Another question you can ask is this. What one thing will make it possible for you to do this? So let's get specific. What one thing will make it possible for you to start your homework? They might say, I just need 5 more minutes to finish up this game. Or I just need 5 more minutes, the show is almost over. As opposed to, shut that off already and get started with your homework, and you just demand them to just hop and do whatever. Many of our kids with ADHD, dyslexia, Asperger's can't shift that fast. You know, they need some transition time. So you're demanding and wielding the hammer of authority that you have as a parent or a teacher. That authority doesn't get our kids to budge if they have that difficulty making the switch. But if you ask that question, what one thing will make it possible for you to do this? Maybe they need a minute. Maybe they need you to reiterate what's the request in the first place, because if they were hyper-focused in on something, maybe they didn't hear you. They knew you were talking, but they didn't really understand the request because they weren't totally tuned in. So let's say the reason they're motivated to keep doing what they're doing and avoid homework or something is because they need help figuring out, what do I need to do? Where do I need to start? Where should I do it in the house? So you can ask this question: what can I do to support you in getting this done? For some kids, they know they don't understand it, they know they don't get it, but they need to be reminded that help is an option. I've talked to parents before, parents themselves, who have some of the same difficulties their kids do. And I'll remember one in particular from a presentation I did a few years ago. We were talking about parenting skills, and the mother was talking about the different things that she would do to help her child. And I say, well, what if those didn't work? What would you do next? And she honestly said this: well, I don't know. I guess I'd just give up. So I said to her, have you ever considered talking to other parents and asking for some suggestions? And she got this blank look on her face, and she said, no, I never thought of that. Imagine that. Living in a world where parents think that if they do not have this universal download that just gives them everything in their brain that they need to do to achieve perfect parenting, if they don't have that, they are failures as parents. How many parents have you encountered that believe this? Do you believe this? I've met many people that do. They don't even consider asking for help for themselves. Something to think about. So if it doesn't occur to you, maybe it doesn't occur to your child as well. So you have to prompt them and remind them. Here's another important question for the child that's getting anxious at the idea of starting it, of doing it, of going through that process of troubleshooting because they get stuck, because it's hard, because it's boring. Ask them this question: how do you expect to feel when we get this done? Because they're spending so much time resisting the idea of starting, resisting that boring process, that they're forgetting about the outcome. Maybe they're going to feel relieved. Maybe they're going to feel accomplished. Maybe they'll have more peace of mind because this undone task or assignment is still out there waiting. No matter how much they try to distract themselves, it's still out there. But they never realize that, you know what? I'm actually going to feel better just by getting the darn thing done. So when they say, yeah, that's a good point, I will feel better once I get done. So then you can go back to the questions I asked previously. Great. I think you'll feel great too. I know we both will. So what one thing will make it possible for you to do this? Well, I need to close my video game. I need to get started. Great. What can I do to support you in getting this done? See how it works? You can walk them through these questions to help them get at their reason, to help you understand their reason, and then show them the benefit. Show them through them answering the questions for themselves instead of you lecturing them. You're just posing the question. They're thinking about it. They're coming up with the reasons. They're seeing the value and actually following through with what previously was an undesirable, boring task. And you're introducing the idea of getting help, of asking for help. You're making yourself available. Then once you're both motivated to do the same thing because you both want to feel good when it's complete, then you can get started. Pretty awesome, huh? You're welcome. So if this has been helpful for you, comment below. Let me know what specifically has been helpful. If you need some help strategizing this to fit your specific situation, go ahead and send me a message. I'm more than happy to help you. And if there are others you think can benefit from this, then by all means, share it with them as well. And I want to thank Shane, Sam, and everybody else, Lisa, everybody else that chimed in. I really appreciate you being here. And Debbie, you're really going to like this one, so make sure you watch the replay. All right? It's been wonderful having you. This is Brian King. We'll talk again soon.